Okay. So as we always do, come to a comfortable posture. You can sit on a chair, you can even lie down. You can put your lower legs on the seat of the chair. That's fine. Some people are prone to do that. And just see if you can abide with relative ease in this sitting posture. Let there be no struggle in the body. Sit in a posture which is upright, which is noble, which is dignified. And see if you can make your posture embody your intention to be wise, to know the truth of things. Allow your attention to recognize what is already obvious in the here and in the now. And then see if you can not create any stories about the here and now. Just simply reside with your attention on what's happening now without the stories. Allowing with utter simplicity to let it be known to you, which might mean thoughts are being known, the feeling of the body is being known, sounds are being known. Clear comprehension of what's happening in the here and in the now. That utter simplicity of now. See if you can drop yourself into that utter simplicity of now without the stories. And then if you'd like to, you can fold your palms in front of your chest, your head. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. And may I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all beings are enlightened. I vow to be here to serve them all. Ready? You can lift your gaze, open your eyes, and stretch out your legs. So we're going to begin with two supine postures. Actually, this is pretty much the same ones that we did on Tuesday. Either Supta Baddha Konasana, Supta Swastikasana, or Supta Virasana. And then we'll switch over to the supine Shavasana with the blanket against the spine. Okay, so when you're ready. So Lindsay, in terms of, I think you'll be okay with your knee, the left knee. We are going to bend the leg, but not beyond 90 degrees. So I think you'll be okay. Nothing like Malasana. Yeah. And I'll show you some things that you can do as well. So for those of you, welcome everyone who came in a little bit late. So we're starting with any of the supine poses we've been doing throughout the year. Supta Virasana. If your knees bother you, then I would not suggest doing Supta Virasana. Do soles of the feet together or cross your legs and lie flat. We're doing poses to build thigh strength. muscle mass in the thighs in particular. And then what comes to mind for many of you will be the warrior poses, warrior 2, warrior 1, warrior 3, also Utkatasana, which we didn't do on Tuesday, but we'll take a different path to get there today. Okay, so just settle in, settle back. Again, no struggle. So pick a supine posture that you're not in struggle with it. So that might be Supta Virasana, because we certainly work on that, but it might not be. In which case, cross-legged or soles of the feet together. That's good, Val. And then when you're ready, you can indeed take your arms overhead. It's a cold day here. And use the arms overhead to irrigate the chest box, to pranasize. Use it to not only open the armpits, but to unfold the chest. And then you can cross your arms, wrists, forearms, or upper arms. Those of you who are tighter in the armpits, then wiser to hold the forearms or the wrists. And just bring the sense of fullness in the chest. Whole day, and I said on Tuesday how important it is to do chest opening work, particularly poses like Paryankasan that we did last week with the 2 blocks. On a cold day, it's wonderful. Even though you're supine, you really can open the chest or do arm work, raising the arms up and down several times. And now re-stretch the arms, charge the chest without charging the eyes and the throat, and then take the clasp, seeing that the elbows are in line with the shoulders. So as I was saying earlier, that sarcopenia typically is defined as the loss of muscle mass, but it really transcends that. It also means that the metabolism in the muscles themselves changes, right? And it can produce more glucose in the blood. Metabolism in the muscles affects the metabolism in the liver. So this is particularly important as we get older. It's also important in relationship to balance, because oftentimes people think about balance as just the feet. And true, yes, the feet are involved in balance, but so are the quads, and so is the abdomen. So here's the plug for the panel on January 23rd on body wisdom and aging, but particularly I'll be addressing in my workshop on April 24th that topic of how feet, quadriceps strength, and abdominal strength plays into balance, and also not losing muscle mass. So that's the topic of my workshop in April. But all the teachers will have their own respective topics. Patricia is teaching on the thoracic spine. Karen Stefan is teaching on the hips. And David is teaching pranayama, breath work, and some philosophy as well. Those of you in Supta Swastikasana, if you are in that pose, I don't see anyone, then change the cross. Now conclude with the arms down if you haven't already. And open up the chest. So I think Marina and Lana don't have the cameras on. I don't know if that's intentional, but just so that you know that I cannot see you. Okay, now I'll take the Supta Virasana people out. Good, Elaine. Just take your hands into the arches of the feet with your chest. Good. Stretch out your legs. And now the Supta Baddha Konasana people, place the feet flat on the floor. holding the backs of the thighs, and then roll to your side. And we'll just do this one. I love this one. It's a beautiful chest opener, but really unfolds the chest. So this is where I showed on Tuesday. You fold out your blanket so that when your buttocks are on the base of it, your head, unless you're very tall, will be on the top end. And you're sitting simply with your buttocks on it. Go back with your feet flat and the legs bent. And then extend one leg out, then the other. And then like you're a starfish with the arms in line with the shoulders. So not only do you feel spacious in this pose, but what's really nice about this, it brings and calls attention to your spine. So I love this one. So we're doing this to spine-ize our spine in this spine-ize Shavasana position. Hi, Yukiko. So that's it, Lubna. Yeah. Also another wonderful chest opener. So in the beginning, you may feel a little tipsy, but then as I always say, the breath kind of organizes around the spine. And then you'll feel good, Nancy. Have the feet hip width, even wider. It's really nice. Do keep the feet active. Flex the feet, dorsiflex the feet, extend through the heel hinge, and open up your toes. The legs could be even to the outer edges of the mat. That might feel good on one's back, Gail, and others. If you're cold, if your room is cold, you can just put a blanket on your chest. Also, if a bolster is nearby, you could put, and the legs aren't too far apart, you could put a bolster on your thighs. Good. Which will also feel good. That's it, Donna. Good. Okay, so lots of different creative ways to do this spine Shavasana. Alert your spine. We are going to stand in a moment, and this will help in that. So just to conclude about the plug for yoga and aging, if you go on yogaandaging.com, you'll get to the website and you can register for the free panel on January 23rd at 1 o'clock. It's just an hour long. Good. Feel how the skin of the back body is moving toward the spine. It's cinching in. So the front body will have this feeling of opening, unfolding. It will feel wider, broader than the back body. Those of you who do a lot of back bending, it's like that, dropping back into Urdhva Dhanurasana. It feels like that. Now, when you're ready, you can bend the knees, place the feet flat on the floor, roll to your side. All right, now before we do Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, I want to open up the groins because not everyone did Supta Virasana. So on Tuesday, we did Ekapada Bekasana, which was we were lying prone. But today I want you to do it the Tita, meaning the standing variety. So you're going to stand. If you feel like you need a wall, let me get my camera here. If you feel like you need a wall, Polly, this is the one that I think it's better for you to use the chair for the kneecap. So I'm just near the wall. You can see, hold on, get a better picture for you. All right, and then I'm going to aim that inner left heel to my outer left butt. If you can extricate the hand from the wall, hold the foot with two hands. Notice how the thighs are on the same plane. So if you show me in profile, I'll be able to see if your thighs are on the same plane. Those of you, you don't have to hold, good Winnie, those of you who lift from the pubic bone and notice there's a tendency, Betsy, take the knee a little further back. Yeah. So you're really not bypassing that groin stretch. Hi, Lana. Good, Donna. Aim the heel, Donna, if you can, unless your knee is bothering you. Lindsay, don't go too far on this one. With Lindsay B. Yeah, that's really good. Right leg. All right, your left. Holly, that's good. All right, change sides. Tita Bekasana, just so that you know the name of it. There's a tendency, everyone, for the chest to fall forward. I don't know if you see that on your screen, but that means you have to, when the chest pitches forward, lift from the sides of the pubic bone. Winnie, the good work in the legs, just lift more from both sides of your pubic bone. Okay, let's see. Aim the heel to, yeah, we're gonna do that. That's fine, Lindsay, to do it that way. Aim the heel to the outer buttock. Lana, now see if you can lift the side walls of the chest. Kiko, see if you can move the thigh back a little bit of the bent leg so that the thighs are actually on the same plane. Repeat, repeat. Good, Andrea. Repeat. Winnie, watch the abdomen draw slightly back. Yeah, best to show me if you can get, yeah, Gail, even in profile. See if you look, if you can see yourself in the galley view, then you'll be able to see if your knee is jutting forward. Betsy also, now take the thigh slightly back. So that window, that groin that you had in Supta Virasana is opening. That's good, Lindsay, on this side. Yeah. The other thing, Lindsay, you could do, watch, on the left knee, that's the issue with the fall, is just simply put your, look, put the knee, like put the kneecap on the chair seat. So, you know, all of you have, and I really appreciate many of you, all of you do this, but when you're, if something happens to you, email me the morning of or the day before, whenever, so you can come to class and join in with some modifications. Okay, so now that's it, Polly. So now come to the top of the mat. We're doing Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stand in Samastiti, and remember the blanket against your spine. Yeah, you can adjust your cameras. That would be really good. For some reason today, I feel like I'm not seeing people's feet. So the camera, adjust your camera. Elaine, you can do Uttanasana, Prasarita Padottanasana, but then we're doing one-legged dog. You can do modified warrior 3 and some planks also. We'll do some planks as well. Okay, take it from the top, raise the arms up. If you're cold, then do a few times. Pump the chest, pump the chest. Take the arms down, pump the chest. So get some movement in the armpits. And then bend forward, jump back, jump, jump, jump back, step back. Okay, take enough distance between the feet and your hands so that you're basically forming this upside down V. Upside down V. Let there be no angle between the upper chest and the Lugna, that's good, and the upper arm. Yeah, you can pump the thoracic if that helps, for sure. Do what you need to do to affect the geometry of the pose, but also the shoulders, particularly those of you who have tighter shoulders, to open up your thoracic. Okay. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now come forward into what we've been working on, that high Chaturanga Dandasana. Take a glance, good Polly, at the screen, get the buttocks in line with the shoulders. So everyone in a high Chaturanga plank position, Winiya. Hold it, lift the abdomen away from the floor, hold it, hold it. Gaze forward from the bridge of the nose. Now lift the abdomen slightly. Okay, now go slowly back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. When the same thing is appearing that happened on Tuesday. When you're in the high plank, the pelvis is too high. Take a look at yourself on the screen and you'll be able to see that. Again, come forward. I just want to make sure I've seen everyone. Come forward into your high Chaturanga. Abdomen up, abdomen up, abdomen up, tailbone in. Winnie, drop the tailbone. Yeah, even more, even more. Drop, yes, there. So the shoulders are even with the pelvis. Now slowly go back. Good. All right, now we've been doing this quite a bit the past few weeks, but it's wonderful. Now come down, take a well-deserved rest in child's pose. Holly, you can just kneel or put 2 bolsters in front and position your forearms on them. All right, Elaine, you can do this, the next one. Now we're going to add, so my new motto, you know, I love these little pithy adages. So an arm balance a day keeps the doctor away. All right, so this is Vashisthasana 1. I'm going to have Elaine demonstrate it. So with that said, I'm going to spotlight Elaine. All right. We can see your hydro, Elaine. No, not right now. You can show it to us. All right. So where is she? Blah, 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 blah. Where did she go? Why is she not on my screen? That is the oddest thing.
She's
Elaine.
waving.
Elaine, I'm not sure why you just disappeared from the screen.
She's waving her hands.
Oh, there you are. Thank you. How could I miss that? All right, so watch this because Nancy, you had asked the question the other day about this pose. So Elaine, you will just obviously touch dog and then you're gonna come into your plank. And then strike Vashisthasana, that's a good way. Now she has her feet stacked, which is fine. You can also, staggered, which is fine. You can also stack, which is a little bit harder because the base is narrower, all right? So one of the wonderful things about Vashisthasana as an arm balance to do, you can change sides while I talk, Elaine, is that it's a wonderful chest opener. It builds upper body strength. And it's very empowering, okay? Thanks, Elaine. All right, so let's do this. We'll take, as Elaine demonstrated, Adho Mukha Svanasana to the high plank, Vashisthasana to the right, and then Vashisthasana to the left, and then you'll, oops, sorry. I need to unspotlight you, Elaine, and my, I don't know why this is not, today is not a good day. Elaine, are you off the screen? You are? Okay, I don't know how that happened, but that's beside the point. Okay, here we go. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take it. You can start from, actually take it from Tadasana, sorry, because many of you step back and you want to step back with the other leg. All right, here we go. Tadasana, Samasthiti, spine, eyes, arms up, exhale, bend forward, step back, other leg, or jump, jump. The jumping, good, Mary Beth, is really good because that builds thigh strength. Of course, there are reasons not to jump. Back issues, knee issues, feet issues. But if you can jump, certainly jump. Now come into a high plank, pause. All right, now alert the right hand, spread the right palm, can use blocks. Draw up through your inner right arm. It's like Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Stack or stagger the feet and just get the head in line with the buttocks. See if you can hold it 30 seconds. Most of you can hold it 30 seconds. Good, Yukiko. Good. That's it. Buttocks moving toward the ankles. And then change sides. Well done. Well done. Alert the left hand. Spread it. Pull up from your inner wrist to your inner elbow to inner upper arm. And then open the chest. Open the chest. Don't lift the hips too high, Val. But yeah, it's angular. The geometry is angular. Geometry, good, Donna. That's it. Mary Beth, a little bit high in the hips from my point of view. No, not that high. There. There. Okay, now come down, probably even, and rest. Good. So I make it a point of doing Vashisthasana 3 times a week. There are certain poses I feel that are poses for a lifetime, and Vashisthasana is one of them, okay? It's actually much easier on the shoulders, especially when it's done with blocks and the hand turned out, than full arm balance. All right, now, Elaine, you can do Virabhadrasana 3 modified with the blocks underneath you. We're going to take one more Adho Mukha Svanasana, this time from a prone position. Okay, so you know dog pose can be done from all 4 Tadasana, from Utkatasana, and now for your upper body strength, push the floor away, come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is not how it's usually taught, and I'm not quite sure why. Elaine, you can start from standing and then, yeah. Okay, and up you go. That's it. All right, now bring the feet together. Now here's the thing, especially for those of you who are tighter in your armpits. Don't let So Andrea, for you, you can do it, if there's anyone with wrist issues, obviously, or, other organic problems, then the modification would be Warrior 3 with the blocks underneath the hands on the blocks, modified Warrior 3. When you're ready, bring the feet together. All right, now lift the root of the right leg up. Good, but don't let the chest, good Nancy, come forward. Don't let the chest, Lubna, come forward. Imagine I'm in your room, remember Ziad's knees up against your shoulder blades, Lubna, your shoulder blades, and then take that leg down. Gotta get Lana over there. Okay, now lift the root of the left leg up. Lift the root of the left leg up. Don't turn the head, just look at the floor. And descend. Lindsay V, this should all be fine for you. Okay, take the left leg down and repeat one more time. One-legged Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the leg, keep that aerial leg straight by reaching from the calf to the heel. That's it, Betsy. Keep the leg straight, knee into knee. Beautiful, Val. Descend. Also wonderful for quad strength. Lift the root of the left leg. Lift it from the root of the left thigh. Keep the chest going backward toward the leg side. Chest back, good, Lana. Okay, and then take another, well done. These look really good. Take another well-deserved rest, except for rest Lindsay V in Uttanasana instead of child's pose. Polly, same thing. Instead of child's pose, guys, so I really want you to know the modifications because, this is life, this is what happens. Life is fragile. Things fall apart. There's a wonderful saying in Zen Buddhism. He holds up the cup, right? And he says, regard this cup as broken. That's the way to go through life. Like life is fragile. Things fall apart in a moment notice. So if you have bad knees, or I should say bad knees, if your knees are hurting you, then just rest in Uttanasana, otherwise child's pose. You just rest there. Again, if your knees are bothering you, I know many of you have some injuries right now, I want to address them all. Val, you're okay?
I'm fine, I just don't know what we're doing.
Oh, we're doing child's pose or Uttanasana. So we're taking a well-deserved rest. And for people who have, issues with their knees, I'm giving them some choices what to do. All right, now, since we're resting for a moment, let's do this. Take your legs in Dandasana, feet hip width apart. So we did this earlier on Tuesday. We actually did this at the beginning of the sequence. So it's interesting. I really want you to use your quadriceps. Almost like those of you who know this pose, if you imagine you're in this pose, you can feel the quadriceps burning, Paripurnavasana. Flex through your heels so that if you put your hands on the roots of the thighs, which were just, you lifted from, it feels like the skin is moving into your hands. So you can see just sitting with the legs outstretched in front of you strengthens the quads. Okay, now lift the right leg up a few times. Don't let, as much as possible, we're not doing too many of these. It's easier on the seat of the chair. Can you feel your quadriceps burning? Yes, Lindsay V. Okay, change sides. We did this some time ago. One side might be easier. Turn the foot out and lift the leg. Lift, lift, lift. Lift, lift, lift. You can feel your quadriceps, right? Now, from Dandasana, feet hip width apart, so you're starting in Dandasana, feet hip width apart, and then see how I bend the leg, I extend through the calf to the heel like dog pose, and then other leg apart, and then go wider than you think. Adjust from the feet. So yes, make your pubic plate broad. You can do it a few times. Upavishta Konasana also for your quads. Everyone thinks of it as a just pure, the hamstring is lengthening, but the antagonistic muscle, the quadricep, is contracted, right? So yes, it is a hamstring stretch, but it strengthens the quadriceps. So again, you can put your hands on your quadriceps. That's the name of the muscle 4 of them. Below the hand, you can feel the skin almost like a mound in your hand. And then you can iron that skin to the bone so that the legs feel sleek instead of bulky. Okay, now come back to Dandasana. And again, 5, lift the leg up. Try not to lean back. If it's impossible not to lean back, could use the chair, but I don't want anyone's back to hurt. Change sides. Good. Now, back to Dandasana, feet hip width apart. Take the left leg out, right leg out. Iron the skin to the bone so that you're not feeling that burning sensation. The quadriceps are still working, make no mistake about it. They have to work. The hamstrings are stretching their antagonistic muscle groups, and then widen the pubic bone away. Just lift, go a little bit wider so you get the width across the pubic plate. Width across the pubic plate. And now raise the arms up. Keep the trapezius moving down. Look up from the eyes of the chest. And now take the arms down. Now take your right leg into the Baddha Konasana position, not the Siddhasana that we did on Tuesday, where the sole of my right foot is facing that wall. Baddha Konasana, right leg. Well, then put your hand into the pit of the knee. Lindsay, let me see, yeah, right, okay. Baddha Konasana. You may not be able to do this thing, we'll see on the left side without, you could do it with a strap in the pit of the knee. All right, and then stretch out your leg back to Upavishta Konasana. So see, Lindsay, I'm putting my hand, use the strap to turn the skin. And the sole of the foot is facing, just go slowly. Just bend the leg to the point you can bend it, Lindsay. That's about it. Okay, wait there. Baddha Konasana. Left leg, Upavishta Konasana, right leg. And now, Lindsay, go back to Upavishta Konasana. Everyone else, come into Baddha Konasana that we did on Tuesday. We're doing this for the warrior poses. Winnie, I think sitting on some height up at the wall would be helpful because we don't want the knees, you see, higher than the groins, ideally. Polly, I also think, especially on the right side, Baddha Konasana, those of you whose knees are higher than the groins, I really urge you to sit at the wall with a blanket. Remember, I know I've said this a lot. The blanket in this narrow shape, so it doesn't prevent the outer thighs from going down, that narrow shape blanket. The shape of the blanket's important for Baddha Konasana. Lindsay V, let me just show you something. So we did Ekapada Mula Bandhasana. It's nice to have small classes so you can work therapeutically. Look, this is another option. Paul, anyone who is suffering to any degree in Baddha Konasana could do an Ekapada Mula Bandhasana on the seat of the chair. Lindsay, I think this could be good for the left side. Just because you do something on the right side doesn't mean it has to be the same exact thing. So on your left leg, I would try this if possible, and then even more with the strap at the pit of the knee. So let me see if I've addressed everybody. Yeah, try it, Lindsay, with double loop the belt in the pit of the knee. That's it, on the seat of the chair. Okay, now everyone except for Lindsay V, go back to one final Upavishta Konasana. See if you can hold the arms overhead for more than 30 seconds. Yeah, that's it, Lindsay. And if it's too much, then don't do. But you see the elevation of the thigh on the chair seat prevents that knee going into that extreme flexion. That's good, Elaine. Now glue the legs to the floor, but reach up through the arms. All right, and now take the arms down, bring the legs back to Dandasana. So we're doing Parsva Kunchanasana. We did do this aspect on Tuesday, and we are going to our timings shortly. We're going to start the sequence with, I'm going to just show this quickly. This is Parsva. Parsva means out to the side for Kunchanasana. We've done this a lot. We're opening the groins, the right groin is on its plane, left groin is on its plane. Then watch. Then I'm doing a front facing, I'm gonna call it today Kunchanasana. Now there's two iterations. One in which my right leg is on, and I'm facing the wall. My right groin is in line with the heel, but then I'm gonna lean forward or even hold the backrest and step back and do a wider front facing or Kunchanasana. I'm naming it because it's easy to remember a pose when it has a name. So we're gonna start with the right leg on the seat of the chair. Now I didn't have the block on it, but I really need the block because the thigh of that aerial leg should slope downward. The knee is a bit higher than the groin, right? The opposite of Baddha Konasana. So here's my right groin, here's the knee, and it slopes down. So many of you will need, see that, we saw this on Tuesday. Many of you have your foot behind your knee. Look at your foot and see that the foot is directly in line with the knee. Parshva Kunchanasana. Polly, the foot is still behind the knee. So make the shin perpendicular to the, shin perpendicular. Okay, good. All right, now extend, put your hand on your inner right groin and reach from the inner right groin to the inner knee. Then turn the skin of the inner knee to the outer knee. Lindsay, this should feel good. Draw the femur head back into the hip socket and move with your right hand, the right buttock flesh down. And then at the same time, lift strongly like you did in Utthita Baddhasana from both sides of the pubic bone. We're still doing Parshva Kunchanasana, everyone. We're just on Parshva. Leg is out to the side. All right, now come down, good Mary Beth, and change sides. That was excellent, Nancy, left side. This is a wonderful pose and it will make the warrior poses come with ease. Left leg. You might experience one side differently. Again, reach from the inner left groin to the inner knee. Make sure the kneecap, good Betsy, is facing the wall. Inner knee turns from the inner knee, good. So Lindsay, you see how this is really helpful. The Parshva Kunchanasana, these are really good. Move the left buttock down. If it's helpful, Gail, that's right. Put your hand, the back of your hand on the inside of your left knee and move it back. Okay, now this time just take the arms out to the side and extend the arms up. Reach up like you did in Upavishta Konasana. Charge the chest. Well done. Now take the arms down, mindfully take the leg down. So that's Parshva, out to the side of Kunchanasana. Now we're doing a front facing of Kunchanasana. So again, I have my foot on the block and I'm keeping the left leg in line with the left frontal hip. Then just for safety reason, I pitch the trunk forward. I'm going to step back, but not so far back that the heel is off the floor. I'm still doing the same pose, only it's much more of a groin stretch for my standing leg. Is that clear? Well, I'll be able to tell if it's clear when I see you all. All right, facing the wall. Start with the first iteration though. Some of you already went to the second iteration. Start with the left. Yeah, that's it, Elaine. So step in, Mary Beth. Yeah. Gail, step in a little bit more. Good, Betsy. Now take the arms overhead. Reach up. Reach up. Good. So you can probably see that we're planting the seeds for now which warrior pose? Warrior 1 and 3. Now bring the arms down, hold the backrest or the seat of the chair. Now inch back. That's it with the left foot, but keep the left leg straight. You're still facing forward, still turning inner knee to outer knee. Now take your hands off the backrest. Balance, right? Can you feel how it's abdominal to balance in this pose? Nancy, really good. Now take the arms out to the side like Virabhadrasana 1. Turn the palms up and now reach up. Back leg straight. Back leg straight. Have courage to take the back leg back even more than you think. so that you're not, maybe you could go a little, bring the right knee a little bit more over the ankle, be mindful of the block there, and then step back. So it takes a little courage to step back. Good, Peggy. All right, now to come up, so to come out, be mindful. First of all, just bring your arms down. Now you might have to hold the backrest or the seat of the chair inch in with that back foot, because usually it's interesting where people fall out of this, where I should specifically say where I fall out of this is on the exit. Okay, well done. Let's try it again. So listen, guys, when you bring your left leg up, check in immediately with the knee being over the ankle. That's the first thing to check in. And then attend to the right standing leg, groin over ankle. And then we'll do the second iteration of stepping back, because I'm still seeing the knee is beyond the foot. Okay, here we go. Left leg up. Check in. Knee over foot. That's it. First iteration. Lubna, to me, it looks like your right foot's turning out. The toes, is it? Yes. Okay. Adjust there. Now, appreciate when you bend forward, hold the backrest of the seat of the chair. When you bend forward, appreciate that there is abdominal involved in Virabhadrasana 1. Inch back mindfully, but keep the back heel down and the leg straight. And then once you get situated, feel the connection between the feet, the legs, and the trunk is your abdomen. Then take the arms out. This is preparation for warrior 1 and 3, and then reach up. Good, Polly. Now you have the knee over the ankle. Step back far enough so that you don't bypass the groin stretch. In this case, of the right leg. Good. That's it. So this is a front-facing Konchasana, not Pardha Konchasana. That was sideways. Okay. And now mindfully hold the backrest, the seat of the chair, and step in. All right, now we're going to do this, and I know the chair doesn't work for everyone, so I'll give you two options if the chair doesn't work. Just one option maybe. All right, so I'm on my chair and I have it sideways. So remember, I alluded Pardha Konchasana, and I'm going to sit on the chair. Now, taller people might need a blanket. So do you see how this looks like? What we did already? This could be, if the chair doesn't work for you, Polly, this, you'll probably have to go back to Upavishta Konasana and Baddha Konasana. So watch how in this one, when the pelvis is on the seat of the chair, the inner knee rolls in. So again, I look at my foot is over knee. I'm gonna, as Dale, you did, the back of the hand, the palm of the hand is pressing the knee back. And then I'm in a beautiful warrior 2, where the armpit, right armpit is aligned with the groin. So if that works for you, take the chair. If it doesn't, you could do a freestanding, but we are going to time that, or you could just simply come back to what we did before, Upavishta Konasana, one leg, bottom. So now your trunk is facing me though. Remember in warrior 2, the trunk faces forward. So you're sitting in the chair, and this is when you'll appreciate any imbalance. Polly, this will be hard for you because of this. If your groin's in any way tight, this reveals the truth. If your trunk is leaning, pitching to the right side, that groin is tight. Betsy, that's it. Elaine, that's really good. Winnie, see, so, okay, come out everyone. Why? This is tricky to teach on Zoom. So watch. If it's true, I mean, there is usually some restriction in the groin. So if there's, just say I had some more restriction in my right groin. Do you see how my chest is facing the backrest? No, I want the chest to face forward, which in a large degree, the metrics of this pose, the only way the chest is ever going to face forward is if this groin is quite open, hence why we did the preparation that we did. So your chest is facing forward. The inner knee turns to the outer knee. Putting your hand here can help. Change sides or go back to Upavishta Konasana. There you have it. Let's see. This is not an easy way. In some ways, this so the chest, make sure your chest should not be facing your left leg, everyone. It's in a right angle to your left leg. I'm not sure how else to say it. Yukiko, the other way. The chest should be facing, that wall. where the dresser is. Gail, you're facing me, yeah. Winnie, your chest is should be facing the drawers. The chest is at a right angle. Mary Beth, that's good. Now extend the arms fully. Lubna, good. Donna. Yes, Donna, the maybe a little bit too much height there, but it's fine. I think maybe a little less than that. Okay. And then in a moment, we're going to do warrior two. We didn't do this on Tuesday. Elaine, that's good. Keep that left armpit over the groin. All right. So can you see why you stay in there for a minute? Can you see why we did Parsva Kunshanasana? All right. Now, the fun part. So now we're going to do warrior two, obviously. And as I promised you, we're going to do it for a minute. So I'm going to give you some options here. And I think well, actually, they're not options. Because of the timing, we'll all do it this way. So I'm going to take my legs wide apart. It has to be wide enough so that the knee forms a right angle and the top of the thigh is parallel to the ceiling. Now, it may be helpful too, as we did in Dandasana, to pronate your palms. You see what I'm doing? I'm using my hands to root the thighs down. And it might be helpful to do, Lindsay, slowly with movement. And then once you're in the geometry, and it won't be, that will take a little bit of time for everyone to be in it, then we'll stay for a minute, okay? And then I ask you to think, yes, we are holding the pose, but the word holding sometimes I feel is too rigid. I feel like I want you to be with the pose, live through the pose, become the pose, embody the pose. There's something about holding that connotes holding the breath, being rigid, being fixed. Okay, so now when you're ready, jump the feet wide apart if jumping is applicable. Turn the right leg out. Do all the necessary work you need to do. Look at the toes. Lubna, when you're in it, look at the toes, make sure they're not rolling inward. And then use your hands pronated, as I showed, on the roots of the thighs. That will help you go down. Holly, take the legs wider if you can, and move the shin back. All right, move the shin back. Now, if you can look at yourself in the screen, so many of you are doing this, right? The armpit is not over the groin. So see if you can get the right armpit, and it's just not reaching back through the left arm, because then I'll go like this. So this requires the pronation of the thigh moving down, the ascension of the pubic bone and side ribs lifting up, and then charge your chest without charging your brain. So again, many of you have your right armpit forward of your right hip. Look at your screen and see that the chest walls, the side walls of the chest are parallel. Feel the back heel for some of you. Might bring your attention to the back left heel. Good, Val. Val, if you can go down a little bit more to get the side parallel. That's it, Nancy, same thing. See if you can run that right buttock bone in line with the pit of the knee. Betsy, that's good. Don't pull back too much with the left arm. See that your right wrist is more in line with your shoulder so that the arms spread from the chest evenly. Mary Beth, you can see the right armpit is slightly forward of the hip. If you need to come out, but then go back in. We're staying for a minute. It's almost a minute. Gail, see if you can turn the inner knee to the outer knee. Yukiko, go down a little bit more. Luna, go down a little bit more. Keep turning the knee. Donna, that's it. Okay, and out you come. All right. Now just take a rest in Tanasana, feet hip width apart between, and then we'll do the left side. Okay. All right. So what I'm asking you to do is do a few times for movement in an effort to get the knee over the ankle and the thigh parallel to the ceiling, and then embody the pose with ease. All right, with that said, stand in Samastiti. Warrior two pose is such a great pose to build quadricep strength and lengthen your inner groins. All right, jump the feet if jumping is appropriate for you. Turn the left leg out, look at your left foot. See that the toes are pointing straight forward, back leg is straight. Now with a few movements, pronate the palms on the thighs and go down. And go down. Most of you can go a little bit wider because the knee is going beyond. Gail, a little bit wider if you can. Lindsay, the other possibility is putting the left foot, the front foot on a block and have the situation at the wall. That would help the ease, right? And now hit the pose. Stay. Yeah, I would put for safety, have the block at the wall. And then put your left foot, good Val. See that, look at yourself on your own screen, see that the armpit's in line, left armpit in line. Yeah. Gail, bring the left armpit a little bit, so this is what's happening, and I know I'm being picky. So the left armpit slightly forward, so it's a double action. You pull back a little bit on the right arm, but keep the right leg straight. Okay, right leg is straight. Push the knee into the knee. If you need to come up, do so, otherwise we're staying. That's good, Donna, on both sides. Lift from the pubic bone, make sure your abdomen is not coming forward. Keep the back leg straight. I know it's hard, and always remember that back heel can be up. Well, good, Andrea, and up you come. Okay, better on this side, Winnie, much better, good. All right, now do this, just in between, we're doing Virabhadrasana 1 after 2. Give me Utkatasana. See if that comes with ease. An Utkatasana in between. So now you can see the knees in this one. The metrics is very different. Can do with feet hip width apart. The knees are beyond the ankles. The shins move back. And the chest is upright as it was in Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, these look good. Lana, I don't see you. Utkatasana. All right. Lana's coming back. One more. Utkatasana. Feet apart. Let's see. Feet apart. Feet apart. Good. And now take the arms down by your side, like I'm doing now, and jump. Down by your side. And jump. And jump. If it's challenging on your feet, Lindsay, don't just take Utkatasana. Although this may not be necessarily bad. Utkatasana and jump. A few more times if you can. 3 more. 3 more. Got to work on this thigh strength. Okay. And take a well-deserved rest, Uttanasana. I like to put Utkatasana in between these. It actually feels really good because it's symmetrical. All right. Nancy, that's fine. Just take the feet a little further back so that they're in line with the buttocks. Okay, now Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 1. All right. So this was like the front-facing Akunchanasana. So watch for a moment. I'll go to my right. So I turn the right leg out. My chest is going to face my right leg. I'm going to use my arms to get there. Then we'll take the arms up, which will make my chest more and more perpendicular, not pitching forward. And then I seal the back heel. I'm with my back heel pressing down, the arch of the back foot lifting up, and then I bring the knee over the ankle and the root of the thigh parallel to the ceiling. And I will tell you that holding Virabhadrasana 1 for a minute is more challenging than whole Virabhadrasana 2. All right, so with that said, we will, and I am going to use my watch to time this one. All right, jump the feet apart. Lindsay can do with foot on, for the left side with foot on block, or go back to the front facing Akunchanasana. All right, if you're having trouble bringing the leg, the thigh parallel, foot on the block is a way we do it, right? To help the ease of getting the thigh parallel to the ceiling. All right, now turn the right leg out, left foot turns in quite a bit. Now your trunk is facing forward, use your arms to get there. Okay, now raise the arms to charge the chest without the brain and the eyes. Now, imagine your eyes and back of your head, pressing the heel down, pressing the knee into the knee, which means the leg is straight. Don't let the left knee bend. And now sit down and we're timing and go down. Now, if your brain heats up, which it might because the arms are overhead, and that usually is the issue more than the physicality of the shape, then go to arms out to the side or hands on hips. I'd rather have you at this point use your legs today for the minute than charge your brain. So that's an option. If you can maintain the arms overhead and even look up as you're doing, that's a fine. But otherwise, if that's causing the brain to feel hot, the mind agitated, then take the arms down by your side or hands to hips. We're working on the legs. Another time we'll work on the full pose. Mary Beth, that's good. If you can stay a bit longer, stay. Back leg straight, back leg straight. Good, and now inhale up you come. So you can probably see, warrior one, staying for a minute, a lot harder than Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, change sides, take a Uttanasana in between, an Uttanasana in between. A wide Uttanasana, yeah, wide like you're doing that, wide, have the feet wide apart, feels good on, so I don't want it to bother your back, wide Uttanasana. Just to calm the brain if it was alerted. All right, now we're doing Virabhadrasana 1 to the left. All right, so here we go. Jump the feet wide apart, outstretch the arms, turn the left leg out, right leg in, outstretch your arms to get the shoulder blades flat, and then raise the arms up, and then seal the back heel down and go down and see if you can embody Virabhadrasana 1 for a minute. Again, there's always the option if that back, good, Lindsay, if the back leg bends, put the foot against the wall. Hold it, hold it. If the eyes are becoming narrow, take the arms out to the side. If the brain feels heated, the forehead skin hot, hands on the hips. I don't want to work with those parts of the body. I want to work just from the legs. Good, Andrea. Just work from the legs. Buttock flesh of the back leg, Betsy, moving down, pubic bone lifting up. Again, if the brain gets hot, take the hands to the hips. Okay, 5 more seconds. So this is a tapas. And now inhale, up you come. Okay, now with the feet together, again, Utkatasana, take the arms down, get momentum to jump, okay? Utkatasana with the jumping. It's also really good for osteopenia and osteoporosis because it's impact. That's it, Val. Challenge yourself, good, Gail. This is all coming from Gail's articles. Lift up. Good, Gail. Lift up. Lift up. Become free from the bounds of earth. Free yourself from the earth. Okay. Now, I promise you, you'll get a well-deserved rest, but we're doing Warrior 3. So Warrior 3, unlike Warrior 1 and 2, is a balancing pose. But to make, so we don't have struggle in the balance, Mary Beth, you can do with your hands at the wall, and I'm going to show you, Mary Beth, in a second. Otherwise, the way I taught. So you have to have the chair off the mat because you need it to slide away. All right, so watch. I'm going to come back to where we just were. Warrior 1. And then I'm going to bring the chest toward the thigh. I'm holding the backrest of the chair. All right, now I'm going to shift the weight onto my right foot and aim to get my body parallel to the earth. Parallel. So I don't want to struggle with the arms freely suspended. It's true, you can hold Warrior 3 full pose, but this way makes it much more easeful. You don't have to heat the brain and you can focus on the legs. Mary Beth, I'm going to spotlight you while people get the chair. This is another option, albeit harder, I think, for most people. Hold on, Mary Beth. So I just want to show this for a second because I didn't on Tuesday, and I saw you working this way, Mary Beth. So watch. So this requires some skill in assessing. And Mary Beth, either fingertips can be at the wall. I don't know if you're going to reach for the palms. Okay, now you bring your chest onto your thigh, shift the weight onto the right foot, and she's getting her hands to the wall, and make the body parallel. So you can see, Mary Beth, the shoulders are lifting up to the ceiling. Actually, so for that, I'd actually walk the hands wider, not up, because then that distorts the G. Take the hands down, yes, and go a little bit wider. That will address the shoulder blades to some degree and lift the abdomen away from the floor, yes, and raise the aerial leg. So it'd be interesting, Mary Beth, if you have a chair, use the chair. Can just quickly use the chair. I want to see the shape of the pose if it's improved. So there's something about the wall. I'm not sure if it's working best for you. Okay, so it's just bear with me a minute so I can see Mary Beth and see if I can transform her pose. Hopefully that's the chair is not going to push into the wall. You might have to back up a little bit. Okay, to the backrest and go to the outer edges. So I'm spending time here because this is a challenging pose. And, certainly if I'm going to spend time with Mary Beth, it speaks to, everyone might benefit from this. Watch. So here, go down to Warrior One. Now reach go out to the sides of the chair. Yeah, so the chair has to be, and then shift the weight. I think you're too close. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. But that's okay to rest the forearms. Okay, so this is actually better, the geometry for you, Mary Beth, because the shoulder blades are lower. And yeah, it's not causing your shoulder blades to lift. Lubna, I hope you watch with that because I suspect if with your hands at the wall, it'd be the same exact thing. All right, so this was good. Good time spent. All right. Let me, remove the spotlight. Okay, so everyone, you have your chairs. Let's not do it with the wall. I want to see everyone in galley. Those of you who have tighter shoulders, do take the hands to the outer edges of the backrest. The outer edges of the backrest. Okay, so when you're ready, you're starting, I'm just trying to get you guys into galley view here. Okay, here we go. So facing the chair. Remember, have a runway for your chair. It need not be at a wall. In fact, it's better if you have a free-flowing runway so you can move the chair. It need not be a yoga chair. Now sit down, Warrior One. All right, now bring the chest toward the thigh. Reach for the chair. That's it, Lubna. So take it to the sides of the backrest and now move the chair away from you. Make your body, Polly, So what's happening, if you have the chair at the wall, the arms will bend, Polly, you see, so you're not getting the geometry. Have the chair away from the wall, fully away. Donna, that's good. Make your pelvis good. Now hold it. Lana, good. Hold it. If you're not using the chair, that's even, wonderful. That's where we will go. Elaine, lower the aerial leg a smidge. Hold it. See, now this is our first balancing pose. See how you have to draw up from the outer right knee to the hip. Winnie, raise the left leg a little bit higher. Keep your arms straight, legs straight. Lindsay V, that's excellent. Lana, good. If you're not using the chair, I know it'll be a little bit harder, but we're planting the seeds. Okay, and down you come. Well done. All right, other side. So again, create a long runway. You don't aim the chair to the wall because then if the chair is too close to you, it will cause your arms to bend. All right, so you're not getting the metrics. Nancy, you have a question? Okay, here we go. Warrior 1 to 3. Winnie, go wider in the feet, in the legs, sorry. All right, sit down. Hold the backrest as you bend yes. Bring the chest toward the thighs. Have the backrest is facing you, closer to your hands, not the other way around. And reach out. Hey, I would shift the chair the other way because it's causing the backrest facing you, because otherwise it causes, Andrea, excellent. It causes the shoulder blades to go up. Lubna, good. That's it. Now, excellent. Lift the abdomen away from the floor. So you see how we're combining the leg work with the abdomen, and just see if you can be in the pose from the abdomen. Forget about the legs now. Shift your total attention. Lana, just raise the aerial leg a smidge. Yukiko, notice how the root of your left thigh is forward of your ankle. So I almost feel like your pelvis is shifting too far forward. Yeah, it's not perpendicular. Okay, excellent, Donna, and down you come. All right, take a well-deserved rest in Uttanasana. I think we went someplace. So again, I'm only gonna say this one more time, I promise. Okay, so the chair is the backrest. So when you're coming into warrior 3, don't push the chair into the wall, because oftentimes if you do that, if it's too close to the wall, the arms will bend. So you pull the chair out, watch. The backrest is closer to my body, and then I'm reaching for the backrest, and then I have this runway of carpet or whatever, and then I go, you see? And then I have half a chance of getting my body parallel to the ceiling. Shoulder blades are moving down, abdomen is lifting up. Okay, now take here, Upavishta Konasana one more time. All right. Well, I know we spent a long time on that, but that was, I think, worth it. All right. Now, in a moment, this is what we're going to do. We've worked on this before. I'm going to sit in a chair. That's the easy part. This will be easy for most of you. And then without using your hands, you're going to get up. So I like to fold my arms and I lift up. And I lift up. All right, see if you can do 15. Lindsay, this should be okay. If not, you don't have to do that quickly. So you're sitting in the middle of the chair, You hold your arms or put your hands on the roots of the thighs to be consistent with what I've taught. Now press the feet, spread the feet, because basically the feet, the power of the feet and the power of the quadriceps are lifting you up. And then of course, coming back down. Lifting back up, coming back down. Lifting back up and coming back down. All right. Keep going. It should be rather easeful having done the warrior pose. That's it. And then if you want to, you can come back up and add the arms overhead. Sit down, lift up. Sit down, lift up. Sit down, lift up. Lindsay, that's good. A few times in that manner. All right. Now, you're in the chair still, like we did in Dandasana. You're going to extend your right leg out and lift the leg up and down 15 times. All right, in the chair seat, it will sit in the middle. Some of you are leaning back. Sit in the middle of the chair. Let me just show the profile. I'm in the middle of the chair. I keep my spine upright and I simply lift my left leg up and down 15 times. Go slowly. And Vivi, this is fine. Flex the foot. Foot need not come to the floor. So it's going from a parallel position. You see like Chitta-Bekasana, up, parallel, up, parallel, up. Relana, keep the foot flexed. So you're working your quadricep muscles. All right, now we'll try this. Do 15 left side. When you're ready, 15 left side. Actually, before we do this, let's try this. So, some of you who go to gyms, perhaps you're familiar with the deadlift. So in the deadlift, I'm going to bend my left leg. I'm bringing my left hand to the floor. I'm bending my left leg. I'm bending forward. My right leg is up. I'm bending my left leg. Right leg lifts. I take my left hand to the floor. Could you do alternate arm? Yes, of course. But I just did same leg, same arm. Okay? So let's see if we can do 10 on the right and 10 on the left. And always alternate. All right. Keep the leg bent though, Elaine. The aerial leg can stay bent. Need not be straight. Need not be straight. So you're bending the left or the right. That's good, Andrea. So this is a classic deadlift. If it helps you to have something on the floor to pick up, you can see it's bad. Yeah, continue on. Let me see. That's the deadlift. You want to alternate side to side, which is what I do. That works nicely too. Just alternate. Have fun with the brain as well. Your hand is coming to the floor. Let's see, Betsy. Hand is coming to the floor. Yeah. And you don't have to move too slowly, although you can. Make sure that you're doing an even amount of times, right side, left side, alternating. Okay, we'll add this to the mix. All right, now this is what you're going to do. You can sit on a bolster or 2 blocks side by side. And similarly to what we did on the seat of the chair, you're going to, now I'm closer to the floor. I'm going to cross my legs. I'm going to bring my attention to sealing my feet into the floor. And then I'm going to come up. And then I'm going to go back down. I'm going to change the cross. I want to bring weight to my feet, which is a little bit easier when I'm on the bolster without using the hands, although if you need to, of course, use the hands and lift up, okay? All right, so now when you're ready, you're on the floor. Make sure the only way you're going to get up is if the 4 corners of the feet touch the floor. It's really, if you're rolling out on the baby toe side of the foot, it will be impossible to get up. Have the memory of what you just did in the seat of the chair when both feet were on the floor. Lindsay, go back to the one on the chair because the cross-legged may make it worse. All right, so your buttocks, good, Gail, up you go. Try not to use your hands. Donna, try not to use your hands if you can. Try not, that's it. Yes, the arms can be out in front of you if that helps you get up. Okay, and we'll work on knees as well. If it bothers your knees in the cross-legged position, then of course go back to sitting on the chair and do what we did on the chair. If it bothers your knees, do it on the chair. It's the same thing, except that now the legs, the knees aren't in flexion. Good, Lubna. All right, and now it should come, lie flat on your back, which I'm sure you'll feel is a relief. A relief from all this. All right. So just as a curiosity, you can stay after class. I'd like you, or email me to get some of your input on this work. So if you think about it, in yoga, our quadriceps should not be weak. It's interesting because many yoga practitioners, because they come to yoga typically because they have more flexible bodies, the quadriceps, unless they do a lot of standing poses, are weak. So this is something that we can incline our minds to right now. So you're flat on your back. We're going to do Supta 1 and 2, just for space. Okay. So as I said, those of you who are keen practitioners might recognize that as oftentimes as we move to the more advanced poses, the standing poses are kind of relegated to a back seat, and they should not be. And you can really see why they should not be, because they really cultivate, especially these particular standing poses done with timings. So today that's what we worked on. So now when you're ready, Dvipada, knees toward the chest, right there. And then Ekapada, extend through the left heel. Right leg is still bent.
I gotta go, Ronnie. Have a good weekend. Best to Steve.
Nice to see you.
Bye, everyone. Be safe.
Bye. Good work, Polly. Take your right leg to 90 and now move the leg beyond 90. Move your leg from the abdomen. Work the leg. See if you can engage the abdomen now. Leg is straight, but use your abdomen to move the leg. If you want to have courage, don't hold the belt, release the belt, and move the leg toward the head side. So focus on the abdomen in Supta 1. And the way you can focus on the abdomen is obviously relinquishing the belt. Move the leg. Keep moving the leg, Donna, versus taking the leg back and forth like that. So just make it one sort of movement. So I'll just show Donna what I mean by that. So let me show on the left side.
So here I am, left leg, and I move the leg from my ab instead of like that. Move the leg from the ab.
Okay. And then when you're ready, especially those of you who relinquish the strap, change sides. You can see how we, focusing on feet, thighs, and core is really helpful, especially with balance, because right now this is like a warrior 3 position, especially at 90 degrees. And then left side at 90. Okay, take the strap and the leg with you, which is fine. And then if you decide, Val, for you on the left side, be careful with relinquishing the strap on your hamstring. We're still in Supta 2 with or without, Supta 1 with or without strap. Supta 1 with or without strap. Good. Left side, Lumina just right above the left knee, press it back. That's it, Donna. Keep moving the leg toward you. And then when you've maybe moved the leg to the max, especially those who are beyond 90, you can hold the big toe. But you'll see, as soon as you hold the big toe, the abdomen will not feel as engaged because the abdomen then loses its grip. Okay, now bring the leg back to 90. Actually, take Vipada, and then we'll do Supta 2 final pose, just for space. Good. And then go back to Supta 1. Put your belt, or you can hold the big toe or outer edge of the foot. Have no struggle. We're doing this for space as it's going to conclude the asana. Take the leg out to the side. Decentralize the left leg so your pelvis is balanced. That's always helpful for most people. Good. And now just focus on creating width in the pelvis, width across the chest for Lindsay. Width across the chest, width across the bottom of the throat. Let the eyes spread, let the temple skin spread, so you're feeling purely horizontal lines from head to toe, purely horizontal lines in Supta 2. That will help you create space. Let's see, I hope you're okay. And then Supta Panagustasana 2 on the other side. Starting from Supta 1, reaching through the right arm, and creating that beautiful space in the pelvis, like Upavishta, in the abdomen and diaphragm, in the chest walls, facial skin, eyes, throat, and brain. We'll do this last and final pose before Shavasana for the physiological and emotional body, not solely from the physical body. Let your consciousness spread, let the breath spread. And then when you're ready, we'll do Shavasana since you all have a chair. Put the lower legs on the seat of the chair and perhaps the bolster. We do 2 positions I'll show. Different ways you can use the bolster in this Shavasana. So you can use it. I like it on the tall side, especially if I want to get length in my lower spine. It might be nice to put your bolster on the low side so you can feel the abdomen moving back. There's other options of putting it on the shins to feel the groundedness of the legs, which also might be helpful. So on the shins, tall side on the roots of the thighs, especially if your back should hurt, or across the abdomen. So take time to get situated in this particular Shavasana. It's very, very helpful.
Some of you can go prone if that's more helpful. If you need to get blankets or get sweaters and socks so that you can comfortably be in Shavasana without a struggle. So throughout this year, Matthew Hepburn, who's a well-known meditation teacher, has been talking about as a daily Dharma practice, noticing struggle throughout one's day, any form of struggle, is noticing when there's struggle in the body, when there's struggle in the mind. As he was saying that a lot of our suffering in life comes from not so much the great griefs of life, the loss of a parent, the loss of a spouse, sibling, those great griefs, but rather from the small struggles accumulating throughout the day, the little annoyances, those kinds of things. The point being is that they all add up to a big struggle, those small struggles. So this has been very helpful for me personally to go throughout the day, you know, like noticing every hour on the hour, oh, what are you struggling with now? Can you find a sense of ease in the body, ease in the mind, taking nothing personally? Perhaps having a wisdom recollection that everything changes, nothing lasts, all is impermanent, not to take things personally. Again, see if you can be in no struggle with whatever comes up in the here and in the now. It's direct experience, without fabrication of a story, of thoughts around the direct experience. Tune yourself to the direct experience itself, without the stories, without the add-ons, without the projections into an unchanging future. Again, throughout the day today, you can use that recognition of struggle as a superpower to avoid more suffering. Think of it as a superpower. Now, if it's appropriate for you to do child's pose, which means it doesn't bother your knees, then by all means, come into a small cave in child's pose, unless it bothers your knees, and just stay where you are. Really nice to do. You can do an anterior supported movement with the bolster. The two bolsters. Patricia was doing this for a while, a few years ago, doing child's pose after Shavasana. I found it really helpful. So unless it bothers your knees, you're doing child's pose. And then in this child's pose, take the arms wide apart, not overhead, so as not to alert the brain. Just rest there. And sense now that you're coming into child's pose like you're entering a cave. Arms down, that's it. Going deeper and deeper inward. For some people lying on their back, less so prone, but lying on their back can be a particularly vulnerable pose. So this child's pose, you can see the very shape of it is closed inward, right? Taking the arms out allows us to spread our chest. And then slowly just sit for a moment that we have, and then I'll stop the recording and you can unmute yourselves to so I can get some feedback. Sit up tall.